I'm ready to fight with any fighters in the world.
Doesn't matter what the other side says, how they feel, what they say, I've got to get it done.
We should be ready to give boxing fans a great fight.
Well, it should be a good one on Saturday when reigning light heavyweight champion Sergey Kovalev puts his 3 belts on the line against former super middleweight champ Andre Ward. Here's how Kovalev and Ward look on paper. Both will enter unbeaten with 30 wins, but Kovalev comes in with 12 knockouts in his last 14 fights. Vegas, though, is on Ward's side, listing him as the favorite. A $140 bet on Ward would win you $100. And Andre Ward joins us now here on SportsCenter. Andre, let's get right to it. There's a growing expectation that Saturday's fight will be one of the best of the year in boxing. What is it about your style and Kovalev's that will make this fight so compelling?
I mean, I'm a former champion, at my lower weight class. I relinquished my belts to come up and challenge for his titles. We're both 30-0. We both have just great resumes. We fought, our records are not padded, so to speak. We fought great fighters to get to where we are. And it's tough to say what our styles are going to look like when they clash. But, with 2 guys that are 30-0 and not trying to give up anything, and you have a guy on my end who's trying to take something from this guy, those are ingredients for a tremendous fight.
Now, you look at Kovalev, one thing he is absolutely known for, and that is power. He's knocked out 26 of his 30 defeats. From your standpoint, how do you minimize one of his strongest assets?
I mean, we respect it, we understand it, we study it, we understand his strengths and his weaknesses. And at the end of the day, it's about, taking away his strengths and exploiting his weaknesses. And that's just being who I am. He may land some shots, but at the end of the day, at this level, you got to be able to take those shots and you got to be able to come right back. And he needs to feel me early and often in this fight, and that's going to be, what sets the tone.
Now, his last fight, it did go the distance, but he's not known for going deep into his fights. Is that one of your goals, to make this fight last as long as possible?
Yeah, I do think he has a conditioning problem. I think that, when you have a fighter like Kovalev who he lives and dies by his power, that's what it is. Sometimes you don't develop other aspects of your game, or maybe, you don't condition the way that you're supposed to condition. And we know about the bad habits and stuff that he has. We just haven't talked about it publicly. And I'm sure he's trained, the hardest he's ever trained for this particular fight. But I've done that my whole life and my whole career. And unfortunately, you can't get certain level of conditioning in 8 weeks. That's a lifetime of conditioning. And I think that's going to show in this fight as it gets deep and gets late.
As a young boxer, you always dream of being a world champion. You've already done that. But you also dream of being a headliner, and also headlining a pay-per-view event. And that's kind of what boxing has evolved to over the last several decades. And to do it in Las Vegas, from your career standpoint, Andre, what does it mean to you to headline this fight coming up on Saturday?
I mean, it means everything. This is close to my hometown, the Bay Area, California. And I've been to so many fights here, to support other fighters and just, as a fan. But to be here and to have my opportunity, it means the world to me. And I just want to go out there and do my part to hopefully have this fight live up to the billing and walk out of here with some new hardware and some new titles and defeat a great champion in Kovalev.
Well, if you do leave with that hardware on Saturday, you'll become just the 7th man to ever win titles at super middleweight and light heavyweight, a list which includes Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, and Roy Jones Jr. If that would be to happen and you hear your name in that class of fighters, what comes to mind? What would it mean?
Well, first of all, I didn't know anything about that stat. But to hear those kind of things, anytime I'm in any type of breath or conversation with those types of guys, it's an honor, because those are guys who have, put their stamp on the sport in so many different ways. They've literally sacrificed blood, sweat, and tears to give us entertainment. And I go back to those fights now to get inspiration or to learn certain things. I've been watching a lot of Sugar Ray Leonard leading up to this fight. Roy Jones stopped by the gym last night, just to pay me a visit and just to show, just show support. But to be in a conversation with those kind of guys, it's a bit surreal. It's a bit surreal.
Before I let you go, I got to ask you about your hometown boys right now. The Raiders running the AFC West right now. How hyped are you about what's going on with your Raiders?
Just win, baby. just keep winning. Just keep winning. I'm happy.
And I got a feeling that's your motto for this weekend as well. Just win, baby.
That's it. Absolutely.
Andre Ward, thank you so much for joining us here on SportsCenter, and best of luck on Saturday night there in Las Vegas.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How about a NBA